What's a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore?
Sports? When you think about it, sports beyond the recreational level is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Parents park loads of cash into allowing their kids the opportunity to play competitively, spending not only on participation fees, but also travel, equipment, tournaments fees, coaches fees, facilities, etc., 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 and also, most importantly, valuable time that you'll never give back with your family for something that really doesn't even matter. And we absolutely glorify sports. And if you were not an athlete growing up, you were considered a loser. But for what? But don't you worry, if you were one of the lucky ones to exit the game without severe emotional trauma and abuse by grown-ass men who have never played the game in their life but somehow know loads about the game, you get what? A lack of work experience, and then you're not able to get a job postpartum? And coming from a retired professional athlete as well as collegiate athlete, a former college coach, as well as a current youth sports facilitator, this is a behemoth of a for-profit industry, and it's going to continue to be that way on something that just doesn't even matter.
Her name is Alex Booker, and she really makes you think about the for-profit industry of, yes, sports. And here's the thing. When we say scam, we do mean, in some cases, unfortunately, literally scamming people out of their finances.
First, I would like to say how sorry I am for what I did.
On your screen is Brian Farley, the longtime treasurer of the all-volunteer nonprofit club, had pocketed $120,000 from the organization's bank accounts, money paid by parents so that their children could play.
What I did it was one of the worst examples you could ever set for your children to see.
Andy Berg of Athletic Business broke the story of police warning residents in Vernon, Connecticut that an out-of-state business had been calling local businesses, claiming that it's raising funds on behalf of Rockville Athletics, though it hasn't been authorized to do so.
The money that was gone missing was essentially, money that came from parents, hardworking parents in the community. Money they had thought was for the enjoyment of their children playing hockey.
Darren Harview is the association's new treasurer, brought in after the former treasurer allegedly stole $80,000. The news hit the community hard.
Michigan's head baseball coach even told ESPN during a Wolverines game, quote, "I think it's ridiculous the cost of travel ball in some of these showcases. It negates a lot of opportunities for a lot of kids." There is also, of course, the price of it all.
Ryan plays at school and on a weekend travel team, costing his parents thousands of dollars.
Oftentimes in many years over $10,000 a year. Your tournament fees, your uniforms, it's everywhere you turn. It's more money.
For 9-year-old King Riley Owens, who dreams of the NBA, basketball game travel is so expensive that his parents have set up a GoFundMe account.
Time magazine wrote in 2017, the U.S. youth sports economy, which includes everything from travel to private coaching to apps that organize leagues and live stream games, is now a $15.3 billion market, according to Wintergreen Research, a private firm that tracks the industry, which means it's only gone up. In December of 2019, prior to the pandemic, the University of Kansas's website reported a $19.2 billion market in the U.S. means the youth sports market rivals the size of the $15 billion NFL via a December 2019 report from Dublin's Globe Newswire, totaling $24.9 billion at that point. Worldwide youth sports markets are expected to reach $77.6 billion by 2026. In August of 2019, ESPN wrote, the Aspen Institute, through its Project Play initiative, looked at research from the Sports and Fitness Industry Association that found in 2018 only 38% of kids aged 6 to 12 played team sports on a regular basis, down from 45% a decade earlier, and it decided to find out why. The survey results points to all the struggles a mother tries to avoid with her son: cost, inconvenience, and kids simply not having fun anymore. Further, the average household income of respondents to the Aspen Institute survey was over $90,000, a number that is significantly higher than the U.S. average of $59,000. It is likely because of that discrepancy that the Aspen Institute found that children from low-income families are half as likely to play sports as children from homes with higher incomes. Then, as Alex alluded to, the coaching. Human Rights Watch found abusive coaching techniques documented in their report included, but were not limited to, hitting children with bats and bamboo kendo sticks, slapping children across the face, holding children's heads underwater to simulate drowning. While abuse of a child includes harms such as physical and SV, verbal abuse and neglect, this report was primarily focused on physical violence, as that was the experience current and former child athletes reported to HRW most frequently. The National Library of Medicine ran a study and found the results of their study showed that coaches who commit verbal or physical abuse had typically experienced abuse from their former coaches and adopted a similar style. Breaking the negative cycle of verbal and physical abuse is necessary to eliminate the abuse of young athletes. But wait, there's also the question of playing collegiately and using that experience to then be drafted to the pros, right? Out of 482,629 high school baseball players, 6.9% will play in college. From there, it shrinks, as only 8.6% of all NCAA baseball players will get drafted. In men's basketball, there are over 541,000 high school players. Only 3.4% go on to play collegiately, and a measly 1.2% are drafted. In women's basketball, we go from over 433,000 athletes, where less than 4% play in college and less than 1% go on to be drafted. High school football, over 1 million competitors, yet less than 7% play in college and less than 2% get drafted. As you can see in these charts, hockey and men's soccer are also documented.